Hello YouTube! Today in the Naughty Librarian, I'm bringing you a mostly historical romance book haul. I say mostly because it's mostly historical. There's a few contemporaries in there, but they're all definitely romance. Okay, let's just get into it. I want to get into all the smutty delights. Let's go. First things first, I picked up Temporary Mistress by Susan Johnson. This one in particular is about an libertine earl, so I'm like, okay, so he's just like fucking all around this continent. And you have Isabella, who's very bookish, and she has scheming relatives and she just wants to get away from them, so they kind of team up. Because basically her family keeps trying to push her into marriage and she doesn't want to do that, so she's like, hey, Earl, you're kind of a man slut, you need to make me unmarriageable. So let's like hang out, people will think I'm loose, and then no one will want to marry me, and like everyone will leave me alone, it'll be great. And the Earl is like, okay, and then they do that, and then they fall in love for real? Like, I love it. I don't know, I'm excited. They said libertine Earl, so I'm hoping this has smutty delights in it, but they might fool me. I don't know. I also picked up The Courtship Dance by Candace Camp. This one is about Francesca and Sinclair. Francesca is a lady, Sinclair is a duke, and then they had an engagement a long time ago and she got tricked into breaking it. And now she's just like, I'm through with romance, y'all are fucked up, I'm just gonna like pair off other people because I'm like good at that. And then Sinclair comes back around and she's like, oh, I feel real bad for breaking your heart and it broke my heart, so I'm just gonna help you find a better wife. Here you go, here's some ladies. And then they end up falling in love for real. That's always how it ends, and I love it. The cover is kind of suggestive, so I feel like this is going to be a story where these two characters that can't keep their hands off each other, and like I'm into it. I'm very intrigued. I want to see that happen. I also picked up 2 books by Amanda Scott. First up is Moonlight Raider, and this is like a good Scottish Highland romance. Okay, so I just read the blurb, and it's written so badly. Like, this might be so bad it's amazing. Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna read you a little bit of it. Border Lord Walter Scott of Rankleburn, grief-stricken after burying his father, goes to the forest seeking solace. Just goes off into the forest. Ridiculous. Instead, he finds a half-naked young lady fleeing pursuit. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, the love interest name in here is Molly Cockburn. It's like, there's tears, like her name is Molly Cockburn, like, I can't, it's so bad it's good. Like, that's how I feel right now. It's gonna be ridiculous. I don't know how to feel. Like, who names a character Cockburn, like, in a romance, like, and doesn't, like, get the joke? I don't know. Basically, Molly's running off in the forest because her family forced her to marry this guy who's a scoundrel, and I guess he was about to get to assaulting her, and she runs off, and she finds this guy in the forest. Finds a guy in the forest, and he's just like, oh, well, come home with me, I'll protect you. It's like, oh, hi, stranger, I bet you're definitely not gonna murder me. Makes no sense, and, like, I kind of love it. Like, it might be so bad it's good. It might be one of those. Like, I have high hopes that it's, like, becomes so bad on the spectrum of bad that, like, it's turned back around to good. Like, that's it. That's this. Also by Amanda Scott, I have The Laird's Choice, and I don't know if this one's paranormal or not, because they're saying this girl, Andrea, is, like, she has, like, this ability to sense other people's emotions and, like, I don't know, adjust them somehow. So I don't know if this is, like, getting kind of paranormally, or maybe she's just intuitive. I'm not sure. It's not really specific. The love interest here, his name is Magnus Galbraith. So it's ridiculous. I feel like she typed in Scottish name into, like, Google and just picked whatever came up first because these are ridiculous names. Molly Cockburn, that other lady. Oh my gosh. Magnus Galbraith, he literally washes up on her doorstep. And she's like, oh, you're my boyfriend now. These are so bad, they're good. They're so ridiculous. They're so ridiculous. I just grabbed them because they looked kind of Scottish-y and, like, they were in good shape. These were at a library book sale. I had no idea what I was getting into. It's something weird, apparently. Let's do a little stopover in contemporary land real quick. I picked up Head Over Heels by Jill Shalvis. I just always pick up Jill Shalvis books when I find them at library book sales because they're just gosh darn delightful. They're so funny and light and fluffy, and they have good smut. They're just like adorable little reads. They're perfect little palate cleansers because they're fast reads and they are fluffy AF. Like if you're emotionally devastated over a book, pick up one of these. It's like the equivalent of an ice cream cone if it had pages. This one in particular, we're following Chloe, who's kind of like a wild child, and then you have kind of a very stern sheriff, and then they get together because opposites attract, and I bet they bang the bejesus out of each other. That's how it's gonna go. I know it's gonna happen, and I'm excited to see it happen. I also got 2 more books in the Heartbreaker Bay series. I'm just like coming into these books. I'm excited about it. Like I get these library book sales, and these ones are brand spanking new. It's bananas how new they are. First, I have The Trouble with Mistletoe, also by Jill Shalvis. Obviously, a Christmas story. And I don't know, like I don't want to have to wait till Christmas to read it because a lot of her stories are very Christmassy. So like, I might just do like a summertime Christmas jam. Like that sounds kind of fun actually. Okay, I'm just gonna read you the first couple sentences because this premise is just, it's golden. Willa Davis is wrangling puppies when Keen Winters stalks into her pet shop with frustration in his chocolate brown eyes and a pink bedazzled cat carrier in his hand. He needs a kitty sitter stat. It literally is like a romance with puppies and Christmas, and they're gonna bang the bejesus out of each other. Like it has like so many adorable things, and it's probably gonna be very smutty, and like I love it. Like I know exactly what I'm getting out of these, and I want to see it. The other book of the Heartbreaker Bay series I got was Playing for Keeps. I think this is actually the newest release in that series, so this one was like a find. This one is an opposites attract story. You have Sadie, who is like a tattooed wild child, and then you have Caleb, who is like an uptight mogul, and somehow they get together. I don't know where this would actually happen ever in real life. It only happens in rom-coms, because like why would their paths ever cross? It makes no sense. But like, I'm so down for it to happen in rom-coms. Like, I want to see that. It's ridiculous. It would never happen. I love it. They're gonna bang the bejesus out of each other. That's the best way to describe them. They're gonna bang the bejesus out of each other. So remember a little while ago where I was doing a book haul and I found a mystery book on my shelf? And my boyfriend's like, I think this is yours. And I was like, that's not mine. He's like, well, it's not mine. Because it was a ridiculous romance. I found another one. I don't know where they're coming from. I genuinely don't remember getting them. They're just manifesting in my house. I don't know how it's happening. Like, part of me is worried that it's happening, but the other part of me is just like, free books. So, the ridiculousness here is Hollywood husband, contract wife. It's ridiculous. Leading man Wolf Carrick is always in the headlines. This time, the sexy Spanish superstar has taken Alexandra, an unknown ordinary girl, and turned her into an instant celebrity, and then into his Hollywood bride. It literally has an exclamation point. It literally has an exclamation point. But all the glitz and glamour of their lavish wedding is tarnished by a dirty secret. And if the tabloids find out, there'll be shockwaves throughout the world. With an ellipses. It's ridiculous. It had appeared on my shelf. Like, I don't know where these smut fairies are coming from, but they're dropping me off these like ridiculous little books. I don't remember getting them legitimately. My boyfriend finds them and gives them to me because he finds them on the shelf, and I'm like, I don't know where these come from. Last but not least, I have a large box here that was sent to me very generously by Lauren from the Novel Lush, because she was talking to me about these historical romances that she's really into, so she sent me a bunch of them. I've been waiting so long to open this. Well, I've opened it already, but I've waited a long time to unbox it for you guys, so let's get into this. She sent me 6 books by Kinley MacGregor. Kinley MacGregor is a pen name for Sherilyn Kenyon. She's the author of the Dark Hunter series, and when she's writing historicals, she goes by Kinley MacGregor. And I do believe these are paranormal historicals, I believe. And I'm assuming werewolves, because they're Scottishy. And the Scottish people are always werewolves. Like, seriously, have you ever seen a Scottish vampire? No, they're always werewolves. Like, it's like a thing. So I have Taming the Scotsman, and in the back is the smutty tab, which is a smutty back. This one is another woman running away from a marriage, and then she's like, goes up to this guy, she's like, hey, will you be my guide? I'm running away. By the way, this guy knows both her father and her fiance, so I'm like, why are you picking him? But, Scottish. And I'm assuming paranormal as well. There might be suspense, I don't know. I also have Claiming the Highlander. I feel like the last book and this book are probably part of the same series because they have very similar covers and they both have very similar like smutty backs. They're so 90s romance. It's painted. I love it. I love it. I'll just read this first sentence. It is said that Braden McAllister, English baron and proud Highland warrior, can fell an enemy with a single blow and a woman with a single kiss. That's ridiculous. And then there's this woman named Maggie and she's not having his bullshit. And she's like, I'm trying to stop a war, homie. Like, I got better shit to do. And then they bang the bejesus out of each other. That should just be the title of this video. They bang the bejesus out of each other. These two books are part of the same series for real. These are both parts of the Lords of Avalon series. So these ones are definitely paranormal. So I have Sword of Darkness and I have Night of Darkness. And they both kind of deal with like Merlin and magic battles. And they're all old-timey, Scottish-y Merlin magic battles. With smut, apparently, I'm assuming. And, I mean, they seem like, you know, dark heroes who, like, need love to save them. And that's a stupid plot, but, like, I'm a sucker for it. Like, I love it. And I'm assuming they're gonna have, like, feisty ladies who come along. And I'm down. Like, I'm in already. I know I am. I just know it. Last two books are part of the same series. This is the Brotherhood of the Sword. So I have Return of the Warrior and I have A Dark Champion. Definitely different editions of the book because this one has one of those like old-timey painted smutty backs. And I'm like, I kind of love it. I kind of love those smutty romance novel covers. These ones I'm not sure are paranormal or not. They both seem similar though. They seem like women who are very much against violence and war, and then they both find warrior dudes who are like, that's kind of what I do for a living. So opposites attract. I got some very fun smutty delights. I am excited because some of them, like those Amanda Scott ones, like legit, they sound so bad they might be amazing. And then like Kinley MacGregor is also Sherilyn Kenyon. I love Sherilyn Kenyon books, so I'll probably pretty much like those. I am intrigued by a paranormal historical because I actually haven't read one of those before. And also I have smut fairies who drop off random books around my house because I don't know where these come from. I assume someone gave them to me and I have thrown them on shelves around my house and forgotten about them somehow. That's like the science reason. The magic reason is that they're smut fairies. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below, have you read any of these books? If so, let me know which ones are good. Let me know which ones are bad. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye!